Okay, so we're on. There we go. Now we're live. Now we are live. Okay, hang on. Hang on. All right, so we'll test them there. All right. Whoever's rustling around over there, take it easy. Take it easy. Take it easy. I'll tell you, you're reliant on this. I'm sure you guys could hear me. You're reliant on these softwares, and they're tough. And Tim is back, so that's good. So I'm going to reset up and reintroduce. Okay, we are live. That's good. We're back. We're back. That sucked. All right, we're going to have to do the whole intro over. NFL Week 9. So I'm going to show this again later, but I hope you see the little picture. I think every week I am going to put a player. I don't know if it'll be a nostalgic player. Like next week, number 10, it's going to be Fran Tarkenton because that's who I watched. So I'm a Fran Tarkenton guy, and I like that. And so, all right, let's. Here we go. We are back, week 9. We're starting over. We are starting over. We had some incredible upsets. I guess the way we went on the air was a little bit upsetting to me because technically, I usually have this stuff down, but 2 weeks in a row, it kind of didn't work out so well. But that's how it goes. I've been on the air. A lot of you guys know. I'm going to admit something. So, I do graphics for sports, live sports television, and I did the graphics for the NBC gold medal basketball game in Brazil. And I don't work for NBC, but the director wanted me on the show. So I went down there and won an Emmy Award for that show, by the way. And I made, this show goes out to millions of people. I mean, how many millions of people, right? I made 2 spelling errors for the world to see. Like, I never admitted that publicly. So I'm going to give you another one. I'm going to bring people on before we start talking sports. I'm going to bring people on. Oh, wait. Oh, you know what? We're going to see something there. We're going to see something. Somebody showed me something. And then let me get this going here. I want to get our little thing set up here. Britt, you know what? Oh, I got to put you guys' mics on. Oh, that would help. See, I mute you guys because I don't really want to hear you sometimes. So, all right. Now you're all on. So I think we probably have a few Emmy Award winners here. So, JM bottom left there, what did you just show us?
Oh, regional.
Oh, no. What did you get that for?
A long time ago for a show called Headlines on Trial.
Oh, that's pretty cool. That I'd love to hear about that on my other podcast that Lou's been on. It used to be called Todd, You're an Idiot, but the name is changed to Just Saying. Like I'm just saying something happened. Like I look at it this way, and I'm just saying. So I would love to have you on for that at some point. Those are fun conversations. So the other mistake I made, maybe I should do a mistake a week, but I don't know if anyone was ever aware of. A few years ago, Timothy Mozgov was playing. It was Denver versus the Warriors, and he had like 29 rebounds and had a record. But what the graphic that went on the air on TNT was that he had 96 points. Does anybody remember that at all? No,
I was 93.
Well, 93. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Okay, that was me.
That should be more famous. I've never heard of it.
Yeah, it's on Twitter. We left the stadium, we left the arena, and I told my friend, he was the best video guy in the country, Brian Neer, and we're in there, and I told him the mistake, and I was driving, he was in the passenger seat, and he goes, "Oh my God, let me look." He went on Twitter, and it was already tweeted 20,000 times. And I'm like, you know what? I don't mind that because when I do something good, it doesn't get tweeted at all. So if I'm going to get 20,000 tweets, I'll take a mistake that gets 20,000 tweets. So that was if you Google Mozgov 93 points or whatever it is, you'll see it. There's more of a story. I'll get into it some other time. There's more of a story. It wasn't really my mistake, but I was part of it. I put the graphic up. So that was so we had a wild week 8, and I don't know if anybody predicted what was going to happen with some of these upsets. The big one being the Jets caging Cincinnati. That's how I look. Caging the Bengals. That's how I word that one. And to me, a lot of things were pointed out this week, showing. I think it's solidified a lot of rankings on where people rank. You know, how good are teams or how bad are teams. I don't think it showed the Jets were good, but I think it showed the Bengals are not as good. So, any thoughts on upsets of the week? Any of you guys have any thoughts on like the Bengals or the Bucks going down?
I got a lot of.
I think the best game to watch was the Tampa Bay Saints game.
Yeah, that was.
I'll take the Cowboys game at the end, but that was the biggest. That was as big an upset to me, Todd. The Saints game as was an upset for the Bengals, and I lost real big on the Bengals. I've been doing pretty good on my 14 part. I just took a few notes, and I have 3 reserve quarterbacks, lead teams, upset victories. 2 of them were third string. Just amazing.
Yeah, Trevor Siemian, he hadn't seen action in a few years.
But that New Orleans, this is from last week. This is from, I hope this is the right video. I think San Francisco, from what I watched that game, I watched part of it. No, that's the wrong one. But I'm going to find it because I got the Saints. Here it is. Here we go.
That was the Titans, right? I lost on that one too.
Here we go. New Orleans, they lost to Carolina, which is a friggin' horrible team. They lost to the Patriots. I mean, they beat the Patriots, which was a good win. They lost to the Giants, which was bad. They beat Washington and they beat Seattle. And Tampa Bay, I just don't think that. I don't know. I don't think they're as strong as what people may think. I think they're a little disappointing. So,
hey, excuse me, Todd. Oh, there you go. You had last week's video up there. It was kind of weird for a second.
Yeah, that's what I did. I put up last week what was said last week. So
he's trying to show off that he picked the right game.
We're going to prep you on how this show works. I'm going to take you in an individual and,
okay. Sorry,
right?
guys. Sorry, guys.
That's all right.
I just get all excited.
Don't be sorry. He's Todd's rubbing it in our face.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, we just got a little, it came back from the past over there a little. I have a bunch of those going on. There's going to be a bunch of those tonight. I'm trying something. I'm bringing some things that were said from last week.
Oh,
and
you have the sound on it? Because I didn't hear the sound.
Oh, did anybody hear the sound or no?
No.
Nobody heard the sound.
That's why I was tripping, Todd.
Oh, interesting. I'm going to look at that. Okay. So anyway, what did you think about that? See, Tampa Bay, the way I looked at it was their schedule is a fairly easy schedule. They don't have a hard schedule. And, they went, let's see something here. Their schedule, they beat Dallas, which was a good win, but then they played Atlanta. They lost to a good team, the Rams. They beat the Patriots, not so good. They demolished the Dolphins, crappy team. They beat Philadelphia, crappy team, and they demolished the Bears, crappy team. So they haven't played a good team. So New Orleans, who has now won 3 games in a row. Lou, what do you think? The Saints, you should be up on that. The Saints beat Washington, Seattle, and the Bucks 3 games in a row. And they won 4 of the last 5. They happen to lose to the Giants. The Saints aren't as bad a team as they appear to be.
The key question we're asking down here in New Orleans is, are they going to sign another quarterback? So that's what we're waiting to hear. We're hearing Teddy Bridgewater in a trade, which could happen because he knows the
Well,
offense.
who's starting for them now?
Don't know.
It's Simeon.
Well, it's nobody,
Simeon's
but nobody.
injured?
Yeah, it's Simeon.
Tomorrow they'll let us know who's going to be the
Yeah.
I think it's Simeon. Taysom's still out.
Yeah, and that's
Mason is
it.
still out. Yeah.
And Jameis is done.
Yeah.
He's
Feels
out
so
for the
bad
year.
for him.
They need to get
Simeon.
they need to get that
That's
kid
sad.
White from the Jets. Go ahead and get him out of the Jets, and then Sean Payton can groom him because, man, he came in being a former, coach at the NCAA level. You can never script how the guy's going to do when you throw him into the mix, and he had his wow moment. But if he stays with the Jets, he's
They'll
just
trade Wilson.
Yeah, he's just
They'll
going
keep him.
to.
If memory serves me, Sean Payton was in that situation when he was a player a long time ago.
Yeah, and
He sympathizes with the kid, and we have a feeling he may give him the shot.
Find someone. There's a lot of these little, third, fourth, fifth round picks who come out of nowhere, who sit, by the way, who don't get thrown in, with the Wolves, and then they've sat behind these, the Aaron Rodgers and and all that, and had 3 or 4 different coaches bounce around the league. And Sean Payton's really good. I mean, look at Drew Brees. Shoulder was done. And he brought him in and said, "Hey, we're gonna tailor made to you." I think that's what the Saints need because their defense is strong. They've got great coaching staff. They're trying for the quick fix, like all these other teams are, like the Broncos and all that. They need this young Steve Young kind of guy for that, with that Taysom Hill mix. That's what I think. I mean.
Are there no talk? From the guy who's in New Orleans about Cam Newton. I don't know why he wouldn't get it.
Everybody is saying no.
No,
really.
No,
they don't want his influence.
Yeah, he has a tendency to bring his baggage, and then you've got this. I don't know why they're still talking yesterday about Deshaun Watson. He's done. The Texans are being a Texas Aggie and having friends down there in the in that area know that whole team is just a train wreck.
Bill O'Brien just completely destroyed that team.
Absolutely.
He did damage that's going to attract them for years.
So he gets to sit behind Saban. And then when Sarkisian gets fired from University of Texas, he can join that, train wreck also. So I coached at Oregon State University, so my Beavs are actually, looking former quarterback as Jonathan Smith's the head coach. So they're looking pretty good, but
You were lost to Carolina, which is coach, right? Horrible team.
Yeah, I was on Dennis Erickson's staff and Mike Riley's staff. I came from Texas A&M, R.C. Slocum. I was on 2 completely different staffs. Talk about oil and water, Erickson, and then he left us. His Seattle Seahawk money ran out. So he left us. We didn't know. We heard it on the press conference to take the 49er job, and we all know how that happened. That worked out. He flew the coop because he was still getting paid by Seattle, and then when that ended, he could jump back to the NFL. And what it is.
We're going to hit some injuries because there's some people that won't be playing this week. I think James Winston is out.
He's gone.
He's gone for the season.
Yeah,
that's so unfortunate.
That's why, and Todd, that's why you kind of wanted me on this. We could go over these injuries and stuff. I do want to talk about Russell Wilson, though, because it's going to be a very quiet time in Seattle. If the Seahawk fans are expecting him back soon, he got the pin out. But the problem is now it's going to affect his spin, how he holds the ball. Look at Michael Strahan and Booger McFarland and their hands. They weren't quarterbacks. So
well, let me stop you 1 second though. Anybody named Booger, like, I mean, that's a plus one just for the name. I'm a big name guy, and Booger, however he got it, is probably an interesting story. But there's a thing about Winston right there. He has a torn ACL, so he's done. I think he's done for the season.
Yeah.
So so that brings us to a point of New Orleans is playing Atlanta, and at first I had New Orleans beating Atlanta at home. I don't know if that's going to remain the same. You know, what's the replacement for Winston?
Well, it's Simeon.
Yeah, Trevor Simeon,
who did a great job. So he didn't back up.
Yeah, he didn't look that bad. And
how long has Simeon been with the Saints? A couple of years, right?
Yeah, at least 4 years.
Yeah, so he knows that system.
A couple of names they're throwing out today: J.D. Barrett, Nick Foles, and Mason Rudolph.
Poor Nick Foles.
I'm just giving you names, fellas.
I was impressed with all those backups. You know, they came in, and they all performed, and they were really some big upsets. But I think New Orleans defense isn't getting enough credit. They have one of the best defenses in the league by far. That linebacker, I can't remember his name. The other thing, we haven't talked about the Cowboys. We haven't talked about the Cowboys in Arizona. I mean, that was the craziest last drive and touchdown and interception that I've seen in many a year. Crazy. And was that DeAndre Hopkins' fault? Was he supposed to turn around?
No, that was the Cincinnati Bengals. That was AJ Green, who didn't know the play. He blocked. He went to block. He was the hot read. He went to block. Aggie. He's with Minnesota. Murray hits him in the back. I mean, that they had that game won,
and that was a great interception. Tell me, guys, when Green Bay was down on their 1 yard line, didn't this exactly happen with the Rams last year when he should have ran? He should have handed off to Aaron Jones, right? That's his name, Aaron Jones. Mm-hmm. Instead of that crazy pass on 4th down, what the hell was that?
I gotta say, I've seen these goal line defenses are. A defense could be so bad, and they had such a good goal line defense. I forgot which game it was, but there was a bad team, and they held twice, I think. I really wish I remember the game, down on the 1 yard line. So a goal line defense seems to be so different than because you're not based on your secondary as much as your line and your closer D-backs and your cornerbacks and your linebackers, I mean, because they just can't get through. And I think that offenses, and I'm just guessing, but maybe John would know this. Offenses must be, because we've all seen some terrible calls within, offense within in the red zone and the 5 yard line. But I think they're trying to fool the defense because it's just so tough to get through. Sometimes it seems easy. They just run right through. You think, why can't they do that all the time? But sometimes you just see like a wall and they can't get through. I don't know if the Packers faced that. Somebody faced that a couple times this week.
Yeah, that goal line stand was amazing, but that game was crazy. I mean, we were talking betting a lot last time, and if they don't make that switch, I lose on the spread. The points. So that was just a crazy game to watch, and then Green Bay looked really. I put those 2 ways. I don't know if you want to wait and talk about that news today. If you want to wait on that.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers.
That he apparently didn't get vaccinated, and he's positive for
COVID. No, he lied. Yeah, supposedly he lied about his vaccination. Now he's got COVID.
Just when I think he's normal, he does another crazy thing.
And who's out?
He did. Aaron Rodgers.
And he said he was vaccinated. What was the word he used? Immunized.
He doesn't want to play the Chiefs.
But the fact that he's unvaccinated, I think, is a big deal, especially when he was like sympathizing with the people that were, and he called himself immunized. I mean, I try to like this guy off the field, but being estranged from his family, I try to blame them. He's always pulling something crazy.
I'm not a fan of his whatsoever. I used to work on the NFL Network at Sirius XM, and they were like, this guy was a good guy, and then he won the Super Bowl, and it just like went right to his head. And we did interviews with him, and he's just a jerk. He's a jerk.
He broke up with Erin Andrews and then started dating all of Hollywood. So that
he went out with her too. Oh, they were having a chummy interview.
Let me tell you, Erin Andrews should be thankful for the guy who peeped through her hotel room, because nobody knew who she was. She was like a third string ESPN college announcer. And
Todd, if you said this on ESPN, I think you'd get a lot of Twitter hate mail.
Yeah.
The truth is, though, is no, she went from unknown, like Kim Kardashian, unknown, does something to get known, and just, Erin Andrews got, not that it was right to do that, but if that didn't happen, you think she would be hosting Dancing with the Stars or whatever it's called that she's hosting?
Todd, she was well known before. I think that's crazy what you're saying. I mean, come on.
That
was a horrible thing. She would have made the money in her job. I mean, I am shocked, just to be a feminist for a second.
No, she's a good interviewer and a good on-field. I mean, she knows how to just keep it even keel.
That interview with Rogers was fantastic.
I think she was just toiling away at the ESPN juggernaut, and Fox said, "Hey, come to us," and I think she does all right. But she was. If you would have put her in a lineup with the 6 or 7, 10 other sideline reporters and said, who's Erin Andrews before the scandal, before her lawsuit and all that, probably not. You probably wouldn't have been able to pick her now. So I don't know. She's married, and Larry David went to her wedding, and he wasn't even invited. So there.
So did he get in, or was he?
Oh yeah, he went in. She was asked about it. He went in because he was a friend of someone else. He went in, and she said he came in and started bitching about everything. He was exactly what he
back to the field. It could cost him 2 games. After I saw that great interview with Erin Andrews, that exciting finish, he seemed genuinely sincere and happy. And I'm thinking, he deserves another Super Bowl. I'd like to see him win. But when this news happens that he didn't get vaccinated, putting his whole team in jeopardy, their whole season, I'm not going to tell you my political stance. It's pretty easy to figure out. But I think it's so irresponsible. And he may have thrown away the season.
Yeah, I mean, Kyrie Irving, comes out blatant. I'm not, no. Yeah, and I don't know if he actually ever came out and said, yes, I'm vaccinated.
No, he said immunized.
Yeah, that he has immunity. Yeah, he's got immunity, which I guess he figured, play on words, people just assume that. But, I mean, he's going to be out at least this week because it's not time. He doesn't have enough time to get to COVID. I mean, I COVID tested Monday, Tuesday, and today for a show on Friday.
If he's got COVID, it's until November 13th, which I think is a day before the next game. He could still have it for sure, though.
Yeah.
Well, how's our Buffalo Bill fan doing in the corner? How's Mr. Buffalo Bill doing this week?
Pretty good. They looked better. Their defense is playing better, which I was glad to see because they had talent and they drafted talent. I still think they're going to win that division. There's all these people are on the
now that the Titans lost Henry, or is he in that debate?
But all these people are getting on the Patriots bandwagon, saying they're going to make a run. But
I see 4 teams in the NFC. 4 teams in the NFC that I think can win the Super Bowl. I don't see any in the AFC.
No, now that Von Miller is a Ram, he is going to light it up with Aaron Donald on the other side. If he
Before
stays healthy.
Before Aaron Donald played, Von Miller was the most exciting defensive player. I would watch a game just to watch him.
Yep.
Is he the only defensive player to win the Super Bowl MVP, or were there others?
Yeah. No, there was a tie for the Cowboys in the 70s. I think Ed Too Tall Jones and
Randy
Harvey
White.
Martin, I think.
Randy White won it one year.
Yeah, Randy White. Yeah, Cowboy.
Well,
Yeah.
that's great. And how's his health? I guess he's got 4 sacks already.
Yeah, he's got a little tweak in his ankle, but I mean, he's good. I was hoping, hope because JJ Watt, if we want to talk about that full injury and how I was rooting for him. He's probably done.
He was the most exciting ever as well.
He's probably, with his back, his leg, and now, you're talking about biceps brachias. That's gone. It's a rotator cuff. It's done. I was thinking maybe Arizona would come out and say, "Hey, Vaughn, come join us. Try to get another one." But
Michael, I got a health question for you, since you seem to know the kidneys. What was your strength coach? Last week we were talking. One of the panelists pointed out how there's so many missed tackles these days and such poor defense. And I attribute that to they don't have the full pads. They don't have the full-on contact. Do you think that opens them up for injury more if they're hitting less? Like the fact
that's an interesting debate, and that's why, like last year, they were saying the defense was so behind because of COVID. Because of the lack of practices and stuff, and the offense kept going. I think it's the shortened. They go through their OTA, their mandatory voluntary, stuff, OTAs, training camp. They may get the pads once a week. And you just, those of you who have played sports before know you get the pads on, you've got this little extra oomph. Well, you haven't, those nice little ligaments and tendons and bursas and all that just aren't prepared to, like Jameson, like the picture you just showed, Jameson going this way. He's got a 250, 300-pound guy this way.
That was brutal. Brutal.
It's just, and that's the thing. Health-wise, head injuries and all that, and the lowering of the preseason is to make it safer. But that's like if all of us today, like I run, I've had a couple of meniscus surgeries. I do half marathon stuff. Used to do triathlons, don't do those anymore. But if I were to go out now and sprint, I'm tearing something. So it's, I think, and Eric, you may agree with me. I think, yes, full pads, contact, get that body used to. A boxer doesn't sit there and work the bag without sparring and then go into a boxing match.
Yeah, I think, not being a doctor, except playing on the radio, I think for sure that the contact, lack of contact is affecting him. But, I can't even watch injuries anymore. That's why I try to watch the game a little bit on the DVR delay. I just have to go past them quickly because they are so I have to talk about Jameis Winston. I've been a fan of his. Yes, he throws a lot of interceptions, and yes, he has a big mouth, and yes, he did stupid things. But I think he's finally turned the corner, and he's got so much raw talent. And I think Sean Payton was the perfect guy for him, and he was trying to play controlled. In fact, he's even talking about that this week. And so I just feel really bad for him personally because I think this was going to be a big year, and I think the Saints had good playoff hopes. Maybe they still do, but I just feel personally bad for him,
Yeah, and Eric, I agree with you. But think about with Jameis, Heisman, comes into the league. He's the face of the franchise. It's kind of like Lawrence down in the Jags, or Sam Darnold. Hopes and dreams on them. Oh man, you spelled my name wrong.
I did.
It's EY. But
man.
I think him being in the system, but being not so. Oh, that's Jameis Winston, as opposed to it's his jersey on everyone. I think that's made a difference, because when was the last time he was not really in the spotlight?
Well, the shine has gone out for a while now, but he hasn't been in the spotlight. He used to be much bigger than Lawrence when he was in college, but his playing also has diminished. So and he was a number 1 draft choice and a Heisman Trophy winner, right? So
right.
I think this injury could really be terrible. I just feel horrible for him, and we talked about all the big upsets, but I asked you guys again, who in the AFC can challenge the NFC? Because I
think
see
Buffalo. Josh Allen.
I think the Bills. Now, Dan, let me ask, who's Buffalo Bill? Who's Buffalo Bill?
Tim.
the hippie.
Tim. Did they pick anyone up yesterday? Did they pick any free agents? Did they?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. Just kind of, a little hole here or there that they've seen after 7, 8, 9 games.
And John Michael, last week I got a lot of flack, if you want to call it that, when I actually put the Oakland Raiders, Las Vegas Raiders, in there as a contender.
Crickets.
And talk about this other big story. How do you say his last name? Scruggs or
Henry Ruggs.
Vehicular manslaughter.
Yep.
And there was a quote that said, "We do not give parole for this crime." Plus, he had a loaded gun, so his career is probably over.
Yeah.
You don't even drive around Las Vegas. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was going like 156 miles per hour. It was nuts.
Yeah.
They have so many problems.
That's his last cry.
He's
21.
When Alabama guys are always squeaky clean, this is the first guy I can remember that's done something really bad.
Yeah. Look at that 1 year but look at his age. I mean,
that was his last drive, man. That was his last drive.
Yep. Sad because he was playing pretty well.
Here's the problem I see is with drunk driving, and I say it because I had when I was working a job, I had a friend that was killed by a drunk driver, and for some reason, this is a real reason that money plays everything, because there's no reason for every car in the country, if not the world, to have a breathalyzer in it. Yeah. Like, there's no reason for it. It's just, they talk about guns and this. You put a breathalyzer in a car, the car won't start, and that's just the end of it. I mean, of course you could have someone else breathe into it, but drunk driving, until it affects somebody in their family, nobody takes it seriously. Mm-hmm. It's a very serious crime. And there's plenty of people that are very lucky that got in a car just a little bit tipsy and could have been pulled over at any moment.
It's a system problem. This kid has no record. I totally agree with everything you're saying. After you've been convicted 4 times and then kill somebody, they get you. But if you have no record, it's like a serial killer who's got no record or no prints. How are you going to stop the guy from getting in the car?
But Todd, I agree with you, because it's an avoidable situation. Cancer,
this is a total avoidable situation.
Yeah, cancer, COVID, cancer, leukemia, Hodgkin's lymphoma. I mean, any of that comes from anywhere. And probably everyone here on this panel has had someone who has dealt with cancer and all that.
Yep.
Drunk driving and death by that is avoidable. It's the reactive to proactive, measure.
And when people go to bars, and I would say there's a high percentage of people that go to a bar, and he was over 2 times the legal limit.
What was he, 20 years old?
20, yeah, 21.
Yeah. 22, I think.
90. Yeah, his birthday was 99.
Yeah.
According to
I'm an expert driver under the influence, I hate to admit. Never had a DUI. Yeah, I don't think you're wrong, Todd, but it'd be like.
What was that?
breathalyzer in every car.
Yeah, I think I don't know why it's not done. I joined Mothers Against Drunk Driving. This was in the 90s, and because of what happened, this guy was 21 years old. I got a call in the middle of the night, and these families are torn apart. They're destroyed. They talk about the stories. It's heartbreaking, and just to put a breathalyzer, this bull crap about guns and this and that. Yeah, but a breathalyzer and everything, yeah, it's a pain in the neck, but you get used to it. You just breathe into it. And you start your car. How many people would be saved? But if you think about it also, drunk driving is such a moneymaker for society. If you're caught drunk driving, it's going to be, even if you don't hurt somebody, that's a minimum $20,000 it's going to cost you. And the courts make a ton of money.
Lawyers.
It's just, and it's like John said, it's such an avoidable offense.
Yeah, but on the flip side, Todd, if you have a .09 and you're a middle-aged man, you can handle your drink, you're going to get a drunk driving. I mean, they've gone pretty far on the other direction, but I don't think you can.
What do you mean? I don't understand what you mean.
Some people get convicted. I mean, they're technically under the influence, but like Bruce Springsteen, he had 2 shots of tequila and he was over the limit and it got in it made all the papers,
Right. But let's say he was caught, let's say he was stopped and it was early after his 2 shots. And if it was a half hour later, it might have been more in his blood and he may not have been able to drive and he could have hurt somebody. It's just, once you breathe into that thing, it's just, I don't get it. I don't understand why they don't pass a law like that, unless the alcohol industry, I don't know what lobbyists are behind it, but this kid, it was 3:30 in the morning or something.
Have it in their car if they didn't drink.
What was that?
It'd be a logistical nightmare, but how about that NFL we were talking about?
Yeah. I thought we've turned into the view.
This is
you. You want to talk about the infrastructure package next, or what?
Yeah.
You know what? I want to bring up something. Let me see if I could find it. Let me see if I could find this video. Oh, you know what? Here's
there's another strain of the Delta variant. My wife's an epidemiologist, and there's
I got my booster last week.
But there's a variant to the Delta in Europe right now, and she's tracking it, and they're not. But I'm just going off of you, Todd, that you said let's talk about. Let's keep this.
Right. Oh, so we're talking like more injuries.
Oh yeah.
So this was
next week. Talk about it next week.
This was who's the Titans guy? Henry what?
Yeah, Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry.
That's sad too.
Ooh.
Yeah, he was having an amazing season.
Yeah, so he's done. And I got
what's wrong?
The Titans.
I don't get that picture. What's wrong? Is it on a big bone or something on his biggest
toe? His little toe.
The little one.
Like it's.
See the dark where it looks like it's shadow. But look at his bone spurs that he has on his big toe.
Yeah, that's
right
amazing.
at that point. So that's telling me how he plants and cuts. They'll probably go in and shave some of that off too, like they say, cleaning up a knee.
Yeah, that's so in Tennessee. So Tennessee beat the Colts this week in too close of a game for Tennessee, which Tennessee's won now 4 in a row. They're 6-2.
Yeah, but with him gone, he's 65% of their offense. Come on,
somebody's pussy looking for
God, you're attracting wildlife.
They beat the spread. I was real happy about that. I went into OT. They had a big lead and they won by 3, and the spread was 2.5, I think. But without Derrick Henry
in the cup.
Forget about the Titans.
And Tennessee is playing a tough team.
Your cat's behind you.
Yeah, he should have a breathalyzer on the show, right? We should all have to do that.
No, your cat is okay.
Yeah, your cat is.
As long as they don't have a line-alyzer, I'm okay.
So Todd, you said this was guerrilla style. You know what? This is definitely what I was imagining.
Do you like it?
Yeah, it's fun. Now we're more interested about Todd's or Tim's cat than we are about the conversation.
If we're going to talk about breathalyzers, we should at least talk about baseball.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
let's keep with football. So the Titans are going to play the Rams in Los Angeles. So predictions on that one, because the Rams, they won 4 in a row. The Titans won 4 in a row, but the Rams,
It's
but the
the
Titans
spread.
got a problem.
Yeah. Has Denver played the Titans yet this year?
Enough, Todd. Without Derrick Henry, they are half the team, if less. The Rams are going to have no problem. Plus, getting Von Miller. I also wanted to say about Von Miller. It's like when the Rams had when they had Dante Fowler and Dominic Sue. This is going to be better, and it's going to really be the last little link. It's like picking up Scherzer and Seager, or what's his name, Trey Turner. On the Dodgers. It's a great trade.
Yeah, for them, for short term, it is. It
They can
reminds
cover
me
the spreads.
when the Cowboys picked up Charles Haley. It was like that, and they did a
To answer
Super
your
Bowl.
question, Denver did not play Tennessee, and they won't be playing Tennessee.
Okay, I was just wondering because there's another without Henry, you've now got Von Miller coming over saying, "Hey, they like to do this, they like to do that." So you've always got, that's the one thing, that late trade where you've got the guy who played for one team now is over at the other. It's supposedly you have an NDA, sign that you won't, but you do. I mean, it's only natural to give your new team, but that's why I was asking if they kind of have now a coach on the field saying, "Hey, Titan, to help Aaron Donald and all that. Hey, they're lining up in this formation. They're in this. They like to do this, this, or this, But yes, it won't. Tannehill, Tannehill and Von Miller, they played together. They're both Aggies. They play together. So, Von knows his strengths and weaknesses anyway.
So the other John Michael. So what's your take on the Saints and the Rams, or do you have a bigger game?
You mean the Rams
Saints
and Tennessee?
the Falcons.
Rams
Or Saints and Falcons?
Rams. Tennessee.
For the Rams and Tennessee, I find it hard to believe that Tennessee is going to be competing. I mean, their backup running back is Jeremy McNichols. Haven't heard a lot from him. I don't know much about him. It could be a little bit of a trap game in the sense of like, oh, we have Von Miller now. We're home. They're not. But I think the Rams take that. The game I'm looking at is Philly Chargers. I think the Chargers are sorely under
Eagles. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Eagles are
they're in
blown
a
up.
slump, and the Eagles are playing great. So I think that isn't really going to be. I'm not going to bet it. What's happening to Herbert? He's got the second-year jinx.
I mean, he was playing the first half of the season. He was playing beautifully. I thought. In fact, I thought they were.
Yeah.
It was when the coach went for that 4th and 1 on his own 13. Ever since they've been screwed up.
That was a wild play.
But I'm just looking at all the matchups, not even the points. There's really not a lot of great games, in my opinion, this week. The Cleveland-Cincinnati game, I think, is probably going to be the most interesting.
Yeah. Cards 49ers.
Yep.
The Cards and who?
Yeah.
49ers.
Yep.
The 49ers are gelling a little bit with Jimmy G.
And they play a little. I know they haven't lost. I don't even think they've won a game yet in Levi Stadium this year. But no, they're. I mean, does anyone know, is the tight end back for the 49ers, or is he still out?
No, he's still out. George Kittle is still in.
Yeah, they could really use him, but
who's John Michael?
George Kittle.
Yeah, Kittle.
He's still injured. Yeah, he was the best.
So that might be interesting. That might be a trap game, especially after how the Packer game went with that. Let's hit AJ Green in the back to lose it.
I think I said this about San Francisco last week. I think San Francisco, from what I watched that game, I watched part of it, Indy, San Francisco, and that San Francisco, to me, they showed how bad they really are this year, because that's it. I just think San Francisco is not a good team.
And the
No.
Patriots-Panthers, Patriots-Panthers game, that'll be interesting because Darnold, if they just had McCaffrey, I think the Panthers would be blowing away the South.
Yeah.
I am not a fan of Darnold. Not a fan of Darnold.
Yeah.
On the lighter side, from Sunday past, did anybody catch the pregame show on Fox where Terry went the wrong direction? I felt for the poor guy.
Todd, can you get a?
Yeah, they were talking about Jameis.
Lou, what
They're doing their predictions, and they're talking about Jameis Winston, and Terry patiently is waiting, and they turn to him, and he said, Keith says, Terry, what do you think? Well, we're going to need to do this, and Brady is going to do that, and he had to lean and says, Terry, that's not who we're talking about.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, I saw it. That was great.
Terry, if you ever get a chance to sit down with two people in the world, depending on your mood, Terry Bradshaw, because he's not all there, but he's lovely, and Henry Winkler. Henry Winkler, you cannot leave a meeting or a sit down with him without feeling like the world is beautiful and all that.
I worked on his first film that he produced, post Happy Days, and I love Barry.
Oh man, I want to hear the story.
Yeah,
you cut out.
Eric, give the story.
Yeah, you cut out.
I was saying that I worked.
Still cut.
Yeah.
Eric.
Done his
Gotta
first
work
shot.
on your stream, buddy.
Yeah.
Got to work on your stream. Going back to the Pats for a second, we'll try to get back to that. I think last week here was something.
Defense.
Well, I like
Their
the Chargers,
defense can hold up.
but their defense isn't looking too good either, or their offense.
They can't stop the run.
The Chargers,
Oh, the Chargers, I think, are.
they've been off the last couple weeks.
Yeah, I think the Chargers are. Here's what I see with the Chargers. So they beat Washington, lost to Dallas, beat Kansas City by 6 only. It was 30-24. Beat the Raiders, beat Cleveland, but their defense, they gave up 42 points in that win, and then they lost to the Ravens. So I'm picking the Patriots over the Chargers this week, even though the Chargers are playing at home.
I think that's an excellent bet. The Patriots are all riding high after that huge killing. Must give Mac Jones a lot of confidence.
The Patriots are playing.
So that was that was our discussion last week.
Oh, last week. Oh, okay,
yeah. That was our discussion last week about the Patriots.
I thought the Patriots played a different team, the Giants, this week. No, it's Kansas City. Yeah, it's San Diego. I mean, Los Angeles looked great, but it's weird. Like with Herbert and what about Mahomes? Everyone's saying if they don't win their next game, they're done. Like, what the hell happened to them? They were talking about his throwing really weird on ESPN. They said that just can't last forever. That it's going to eventually cause turnovers.
Yeah, I like their analogy. I like the defensive analogy about how the teams. It's like if you remember the Patriots' first win in the Super Bowl against the Rams, they had the formula how to stop that team. What is the greatest score on turf?
Yeah.
Once you have a year or two and you keep doing it, Andy Reid, if I have any Eagles fans, Andy Reid is known to stay in his comfort zone. And, yeah, Mahomes will improvise whatever, but now all they do is put a robber there. They put someone, they frustrate him. Yeah. And, the Buccaneers showed him, said, you know what, we're gonna punish you up front, make you go around. But, oh, by the way, we've got these good corners in this safety who can cover your guys. Yeah. And it'll be interesting. They need to slow it down a little bit and get, they need because Hilaire, their running back, is he healthy?
I think so.
Hilaire, is it right from Georgia or Alabama?
Yeah, I think he was Georgia, I think.
Yeah, we haven't talked about Kyler Murray. Didn't it look like he got injured on that last play? And I looked up yesterday.
He gets injured on every play.
Well, they haven't ruled on his status for this week.
Yeah, he may be out.
Yeah,
They may have to start Colt McCoy, which is not bad.
Yeah, we
Colt
haven't.
McCoy
I thought
played against Cliff Kingsbury. Okay, so that's basically just you might as well holy cow, might as well bring in Brian Sims
he's done better than
Chris Sims.
guy. I didn't think he was going to do as well as he is, but after last week, the Bucks losing so bad, and the Packers now with Aaron, I thought there were like 4 teams, but now I just see it as the Rams and the Cowboys. I mean, if Dak comes back, I'm putting this for posterity's sake. Those are my 2 picks to probably win the conference.
Now, the thing about Dak, can I mention about Dak? Okay, so he had the ankle, and I don't know if you've seen his scar. They had to go in and dig it. So, I mean, he's pretty much has a horseshoe scar dug in there. When the calf can't fire because the muscles, the tendons aren't getting that signal,
Right.
with scar tissue or whatever, that's probably what happened to his calf. If he snapped that sucker and they haven't said anything, he's going to be out a while, which is sad because he was playing so well. You got to root for the guy. He's dealt with depression, people in his family. You got to work with him, but it all depends on how that calf responded to his surgery. And because if you remember during preseason, he didn't throw. They let him move around a little bit, but he couldn't throw because of his shoulder.
So now you're saying he's still really questionable, probably for his career then, or what do you say?
No. But I'm saying for a week or two, it just depends on if you hear them say they're going to go in and clean it up, means he didn't rip it from the bone. He didn't tear it. But that scar tissue from his surgery, I think about this. Okay, a pitcher, those of you, Tommy John surgery. What did they got to do? Elbow and the shoulder and all that. They've got to get him going to just break up that scar tissue, because if not, it ends up being cement. And
that's what they did with Breeze.
Yeah. So absolutely.
Well,
so
that's I guess why they held him out last week.
It could be because Jerry Jones is very secretive. He say he's got a stubbed toe, and then the guy shows up and he's missing a limb. I mean, it just depends on what what is going on. And I don't now. I may be wrong. Is it the same? I believe it is the same leg. Correct.
I think so.
I believe they said it was the same surgery leg. So you think about it. So chain, from shoulders, back, hips, knees, ankles.
And what was the original injury again?
He basically ankle. If you see the film, they show it out. You can see it on Hard Knocks, like 6 times. He basically got rolled, so it went up, around, and then he landed on it. So imagine, because he looked to the trainers, if you look down at your foot and turn it as far as you can, now turn it a little more backwards, and then let it rubber band back around, hanging there.
That's why he missed the full year then. But the way you describe it, it sounds career threatening.
No, it could have been, but it was, they went in. I mean, you got what they're doing today, because you guys remember ACL was career ending.
Yes.
Achilles
sure.
was career ending. But with this, it was, it happened in the midseason, game 5 last year. He had all that, everything. He was ruled okay to start movement in Thousand Oaks for preseason, and then he had his shoulder.
Well, they really were disciplined. I watched Hard Knocks, every second of it. It's. I was going to ask you about another injury. Oh, just to jump into the NBA for 1 second. What is your opinion when timetable Klay Thompson could start playing, and if he can even play again at near what he used to play?
Is that an NBA question?
Yeah, I put it in.
I'll talk about Zion Williamson, but I don't know about Klay.
Well, we got this medical expert. I'm dying to know.
I'm not. No. I'm not a medical expert. All I'm doing is, I used to with strength and conditioning coaches. I'm an actor now, but strength and conditioning coaches. What we would do, we would get the players back from surgery. The trainer would say, hey, they need to do this, this, and this. We'd work them up to where then they could do weights, and we get them running, we get them moving, a little TheraBand and all that other stuff. But yeah, I do have anatomy. I was in the medical corps in the Army Reserve. So, and taught biomechanics. So, know how the body's supposed to work. Mine doesn't work like that anymore, but
so we were talking about calf. So this is a little bit of a side, but let's go there. I know people were waiting in the wings in the bullpen. Oh, I wanted to talk about that too. You can hear this, PETA. Right? I don't know if I took that tweet. I'm going to play it next week. PETA, the People Against Treatment of Animals, or whatever it's called, wants to have baseball change the name of the bullpen because it's insensitive to cows or something.
To cattle.
Like,
yes.
Cows aren't watching baseball.
Did you hear
what
they want to
wanted-
change it to?
To the arm something.
The arm barn.
The
arm barn.
I mean, cows are not watching baseball, or bulls are not. They don't care. They don't.
That's why they don't call it pigskin anymore.
Pitchers aren't thinking they're in a pen and
Throw
being
the pigskin
round up.
around.
Every word is so has to be picked on so much that it's going to be, everything is going to be, there's going to be no dictionary at some point. So I was just a little play on the calf action there. So
Okay.
that's all.
I'm gonna have to run, but guys, appreciate
I got
it.
to bail myself. So
Good luck with these picks this week.
Yep.
Well, Tim, it was good to
looking
see you.
forward
And I want to ask about, nice to see you guys. Oh, so you have any JMS? What you have any plays this week?
Honestly, that Philly Chargers game for me is looking good. I also we talked about Dak Prescott. It sounds like he's going to play. I just did some. He practiced today lightly. He's going to practice full on Thursday. But if anything changes, that Denver +10, I don't know. I feel like you got to take that if he's out. You might want to hop on that now before the news breaks. And then those are my two big ones. So.
One question, John, before you run.
Yeah.
Let me ask John one question. Has the influx of advertising for the OTBs been beneficial? All the betting sites are now coming up on the broadcast.
Yeah. It's nuts. I read an article like maybe 5 years ago, and they talked about Australia legalized gambling and totally changed the entire broadcast down in Australia. And I that's kind of when I started being like, oh man, I should start looking into this. I should start checking out sports betting. And in the last 5 years, you can see, we're talking about it. Every ESPN has a little ticker that has the line, and it's just going to get more and more involved until it's not so much about like, did the Eagles win? It's like, did they cover? Did they cover the spread?
Yeah.
Did they? It's totally going to change the way we look at sports. You can argue for the better or for the worse, but I always say if you put some money on the game, you're gonna boo louder and you're gonna clap harder. So
yeah, that's right.
Arizona right now is being deluged with ads for Caesars Sportsbook, and
we are too
with Jamie Foxx and MGM and all that.
JB Smooth and Patton Oswalt, Caesars Sportsbook.
Right, exactly.
Tim, before you go, give us your take on the Arizona at the 49ers game and my slaughter game of the week, Buffalo at Jacksonville. What's your take?
I think if Kyler is, they're saying they're not going to notify if Kyler's ready right until game time. But if Colt McCoy plays, he looked really good in preseason.
Yeah,
and they have enough talent around him. And I think that's it. You saw it with Trevor Siemian this past week. A lot of these guys, and even Sam Darnold when McCaffrey was there, bad quarterbacks or guys with lesser talent can look really good with a supporting cast, and they look really terrible.
Is Darnold out this week?
Trevor Lawrence, point in case, they look really bad when they don't have a supporting cast. They don't. It's really hard to have that guy that elevates the play like a a Russell Wilson. So.
Is Darnold out this week?
I haven't heard that.
I don't know why I don't know. Maybe I heard that, or maybe that was last year. Maybe I read the wrong thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, I think the Buffalo Jacksonville is the slaughter game of the week. So that's
Yeah, I
You
feel
guys-
sorry for Trevor.
You
Lawrence.
guys think? Do you think Urban Meyer is one and done?
They paid him too much money.
Yeah. See, that's
Yeah.
same thing with like Jimbo Fisher at Texas A&M. It's like 50 mil, and he can pay or play whatever. But
I
Some
agree.
college are higher.
A lot of great college coaches, more from the basketball, but a lot of great college coaches never made it in the pros. Good old John McKay from USC. Who was a great college coach that is good now? Oh, Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll's good.
yeah, but I mean, do you think Jacksonville, the ownership? I mean, I know they're the soccer football.
Oh.
They're the
No,
football.
he'll be
football.
around. He'll be around.
Do you think they were hoping that the photos from the club might have been a little more risque, so that they could come back and say, "Look, you violated our
moral
ethics policy."
Yeah, that was overblown to me. They weren't making any contact. She wasn't sitting on his lap. I thought it made me think of him as cooler because he's always come across as this really square Midwest Utah guy to me. And I had a
Goes
little
back
more
to
respect.
Ohio goes to strip club. There you go.
But I want to see Terry Don. I know this isn't college football, but I want to see. Now I almost said Terry Donahue. I want to see what's his face on the Bruins. Chip Kelly. He needs to get the axe, man.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Chip
He
Kelly.
looks
UCLA won't put any money into their facility.
Well, that's not the reason they have like a 15-25 record under them. Come on, they made beautiful facilities, at least for basketball. That's not the reason they're losing. It's Chip Kelly.
If you want to see a facility, head up to, because I've got a house in Oregon. But head up to Eugene, because that Nike juggernaut.
Oh well, they're the best.
It looks.
Hey, I lived in Medford when all that was happening.
Yeah, and I was down in Texas in August. I hadn't seen the Texas A&M, their new stadium, their 110,000 seat, $2.7 billion behemoth.
No shit.
And you know what? They're the richest school in the nation, and you put all that money in it, and what do? You beat Alabama, but you lose to Arkansas and Mississippi State.
LSU's got a great facility too.
Yeah, they do. But
You
but
think
it's like,
that's the reason UCLA has a losing record?
well, when I left A&M, went to Oregon State. When I walked into our weight room, I looked around and said, "This is the weight room," because A&M had 3 of those for the students, that same size. It's money. When a kid coming out of the inner city or junior college or whatever and goes to these, stars in their eyes, they're thinking, who's on Thursday Night Football? Who's on, who's Kurt Herbstreit, talking about? So they go and they look at the facilities, they look at the area around them, and oh yeah, that's big. USC, they happen to be the Hollywood, back with Matt Leinart, and so that was the attractive thing, and then they got busted for it. But
they got busted. Reggie Bush, I'm so happy he's back in the NFL. They treated him like crap, man.
yeah,
It was just his parents taking a house. He had nothing to do with it.
they shouldn't have. He's banned from USC, and
That's the worst, man. That is so bad. I'm a UCLA fan.
That's like selective. They could go after everybody.
Everybody.
They could go after everybody, and it's selective, or somebody gets leaked.
His
just like
parents.
It's so selective. You could go after, just like politicians, you could go after every single person or athlete. Like it was, who was the Warriors guy, the NBA player that
Latrell Sprewell?
Chris Webber. They could go after every friggin' player.
He finally got invited back this year. Yeah. Chris Webber and Reggie Bush are really two good examples, but Reggie Bush didn't even accept any money. They were Hollywood. They were as exciting as the NFL, and they have never recovered.
I mean,
since all that happened.
OJ Simpson can walk on campus. No, I'm just saying. But
Yeah.
Reggie Bush can.
Yeah, but he can't drive on there with a Bronco. You know, we're gonna have two things. We're gonna talk about a potential injury and a TV thing. So, Lou, I want to get your opinion on this. I'm gonna play something, and here it comes. I'm watching the part of the Monday Night Football game, and I'm gonna show you. This is 2 weeks ago. They were into a story. And then some action happened, and they went back to the story rather than showing the replays. This is when producers, I believe a lot of people in television get their jobs through attrition. Somebody leaves and somebody works at the network, and it's just a natural move up. It's not like they're hired from outside. If someone's hired from outside, it's obviously more kudos for them to be hired from outside and brought into a network. But when inside the network, people just have to move up because somebody leaves the position. So the producer of the Monday Night Football game, to me, is a little inflexible, or, and unfortunately, I'm not showing you the Monday Night Football feed. I'm showing you a different feed. So let's cut over to this, and I'm going to show you if I could get it started. I'm going to show you. They were talking. Ignore the guys on the side. I want to show you the play. All right, now watch this play. Watch the play. That's not working.
I got to watch that show.
Okay, oh, it is. I switched over. I started 2 weeks ago.
I keep forgetting it's on.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago I switched over.
They're so funny.
And it is.
Here we go.
I mean, Eli's a stump. I mean, he's a tree
Here it
stump.
is. Watch this. Check this out. I thought this was amazing. Amazing.
Is that Carson?
Bam!
Yeah, I think so.
Flip.
Is that when he got injured?
What a flip. So before that play, they were talking about, I don't know, the quarterback, or they were into some story. They were showing. They were talking about Russell Wilson. I don't know. They showed a clip or something. So normally, it's just a normal play, and it's a normal play, and you can go back to the story. But when there's an extraordinary play, especially a visual. Television is visual, right? The movies are visual. Radio is audio. That's why people need to talk well. And the visual of this play is so cool, where a guy gets flipped. So what happened was, I'm waiting for the replay of that. And look, see, they take them off, but I'm waiting for the replay. And
you're waiting.
They go back to the story. Totally ignore the great flip. It wasn't like a guy ran up the middle and was tackled. The guy flipped. I mean, he flipped. So my point was that it was such a great visual, but then they go back to the flips, almost lands on his head. They didn't talk about the potential neck injury. They didn't talk about anything. They went back to Russell Wilson at all to the replay. So it's like a forgotten play, and it's one of the coolest plays, probably coolest tackles I've seen in a while. Then I forgot to play after. I don't know. It was like a long, So my opinion on that, and I want to get Lou's opinion, and I want to get John's opinion on the potential injury of that. If I got to get rid of that video though. Let me hang on. Let me take it out. There we go. So that video was such a cool play, and they went back. They didn't show the replay at all. And then there was, after the next play, it was like some pass interference, or it should have been a pass interference. And they went back to the Russell Wilson story. And so they ignored what was going on the field. They could have waited, showed these great plays, and then went back to the story. So, Lou, as a producer, what do you think about that?
Well, I am thinking that the producer was developing something else and not paying attention, which happens, or his tape room wasn't with him and they didn't have it. They should have. Things
Well,
happen, as you know.
It's Monday Night Football, so
They should have it.
They have it.
The other thing I'm going to throw out that has happened to everybody, and you're familiar with it, this producing.
But was it the ESPN? Was it the Eli and?
No, it was the game.
Yeah, that was the game. Just showed you.
But it wasn't the other one where they showed the game of Eli and.
Yeah, I didn't have the right feed. I just grabbed the video. So on the video, they went back to. If you watch a Monday Night Football, they went back to Russell Wilson's story, how he was hurt or whatever. But they could have went back to that on a different play. You know,
and that could be an example. That could be an example of talent producing from the booth, which has happened to all of us.
Yeah, because Todd, I think I remember that they showed Russell Wilson walking up and down the sideline,
right,
while like 2 or 3 plays happened.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
yeah.
right, and
his little hoodie.
What kind of injury is that? What could they have talked about there when somebody almost landed on his head?
Yeah, no, they should have stayed with it.
Oh,
they
yeah.
replayed it. But I have a feeling the booth wanted to go in the other direction. They wanted to stay with the other story.
Yeah, now that I have no connections to these guys, I could tweet that to awful announcing. I got no problem.
Because you've sat in the truck and you've seen it happen.
Oh God, I've seen lose so many bad producers that shouldn't be there. That's what I meant by attrition. And you know what? I have a little tweet here by we're talking about. Yeah, here it is. We're talking about Darnold took a big hit. Oh yeah, he's off. I think he's not playing. He's got concussion protocol.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, so the Panthers they are playing this week. New England.
The Patriots.
So, yeah. And New England they're 2 in a row. They destroyed the Jets. So a good team would destroy the Jets, and then they beat a mediocre team in the Chargers. So I go with I think New England's going to just take this one. I think the Panthers are bad enough to begin with. They lost 4 of their last 5, including to the Giants. So that's just to throw that one out there. So let's see. Let's go. I like that we were talking about the injuries, and let me see if I got any other injury tweets going on.
Your video feed is deteriorated big time.
Yeah,
really?
Is that on his end?
Yeah, it's on Todd's end.
It might be.
Yeah, I'm getting it too.
Oh, sorry about that, folks. Maybe it'll pick back up.
I'm sorry. I'm engineering from the truck.
That's right. That's right.
I thought I was hallucinating.
It's good to know that.
I thought it was my end.
It's good to know that because the software, I need to know these issues because that's what I'm trying to evolve this show.
It's evolved a lot tonight, Todd.
What was that?
It's evolved a lot tonight. The graphics are excellent. Those clips from last couple shows are excellent. You're doing a great job.
Spontaneous cat action. I mean, made the whole night.
You're doing it's improving by the week.
Thank you. Yeah, it's work. I'll tell you. So,
I just wish you'd put the lines on the. Todd, I wish you'd put the lines up too.
I don't have my normal guests on tonight. What the hell happened? You know what? Go back and forth with. Oh, you know what? This is funny because you're talking about last week. I forgot to hit a button, so I was talking for like 20 minutes alone. So here's this.
That's where you were.
This whole thing is a mess tonight, and this is like a good show.
That's the senior moment. Yeah.
Right. So that was last week. I just started bad and was chasing, and so here's what I did though this week. I did a ranking. And this is how I see the ranking of the top so many teams.
Yeah, we can't read it, Todd.
Can't read it.
We can't read it. It's too blurry.
No, it's too blurry.
It's all blurry.
Wow.
Maybe we ought to shut
Wait, it's
down.
got Green Bay, Buffalo, Dallas, Arizona, Rams. Here it comes.
Yeah, I don't know why it is because I'm watching it online.
It went away.
The Rams 5th or 6th. That's crazy, man. That is absolutely. And now
I'm basing it on the schedules. Like I looked at the schedules, the strength of schedules, and the Rams. This is who the Rams have played. The Rams beat the Bears.
Oh wait,
The
can I interrupt real quick?
Sure.
So, yeah, Christian McDonald returned to practice today.
McCaffrey.
Or Christian McCaffrey returned to practice today, and Riggs was driving 156 miles an hour.
What's the thing they
What
call
What do
it?
you mean? What do you mean?
I don't
I'm
get
not
it.
sure what you get.
Yeah, McCaffrey. Oh no! It's a news. They just flashed the
Well-
update that Riggs was driving
he was
156
driving-
miles an
He was
hour,
driving 156
and that
miles per
McCaffrey is.
hour. He was over two times the limit. You know, he was just a mess.
He was
but
on
there's
more than, I think the
McCaffrey.
dude was on more than alcohol.
Maybe, and he had a gun. What
And
is he
then
doing
I
with a
just
gun?
saw that you have a Christian
Yeah, what is he doing with a gun?
Christian
so there's
McCaffrey set to
McCaffrey.
practice.
But the Panthers, it doesn't even matter. They have no quarterback. They're done.
I am not a Darnold fan.
No. So anyway, let me go back to that rankings thing, and let me get that back up. Where is that?
Hey, Todd, I got a bail.
Yeah,
Alrighty.
it's pretty distorted right now, Todd. We can't really even see our faces.
See, I don't know what that is because
Yeah.
I'm seeing, Eric. I think your stream might need a little work because I'm seeing things very clear online. I'm online
Uh-huh.
and I'm watching on
mine's-
Facebook and YouTube.
Mine's all
Let me go
fuzz.
put it up online and look at it before I bail out.
Yeah, because on Facebook it's very clear. Like Eric, you freeze up sometimes, and
I didn't
I see very
understand
clear.
that.
So here. Let's go back to this. Could you see it or you can't see that?
Okay, I'm watching on Facebook and it's clear as a bell.
Right. You know what? I see it also on my stream here on my camera, and it's blurry, like you say, but it's going out clear. So that's a kind of a weird thing. So hopefully it'll. Yeah, I totally see what you're saying, and I got to contact the software company about that because now it's illegible completely.
Okay, I
all
got
right.
a bail. Gentlemen, it's been a pleasure.
Lou, nice to see you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lou.
See you.
Nice
Yeah,
talking to you, Lou.
Yes, man. We'll catch up to
Are you
everybody
going to any
later.
Pelicans games or what? What's going on?
Have not gone to one yet this year.
All righty. Well, hopefully you'll get out to them.
Well,
Alrighty.
you know me. I haven't paid for a sporting event in 50 years, and I don't plan on it.
Okay.
So we'll be there.
Okay.
See y'all later.
You
Bye.
got it. So here's this back. Let me see what we got going on here. Okay, there we are. So yeah, that's a little unclear, but I'm going to go over it. So these are the rankings. I have Green Bay, Buffalo, Dallas, Arizona, and the Rams. And I'll tell you why the Rams, I have that as the Rams bad. Because the Rams, this is their schedule. They beat the Bears. They're 7-1. This is who they beat. The Bears. Well, let's go over Chicago's schedule. Chicago had to play the Rams, the Bengals, the Browns, the Packers, and the Bucks. That's their schedule. They had a tough schedule. The Rams played the Bears, the lousy Bears, the mediocre Colts, one hard game against the Bucks. They lost to the Cardinals, and they played mediocre Seattle, awful Giants, awful Detroit, awful Houston. That's why I have the Rams down. So the Rams are playing Tennessee this week, and they just have an easy schedule. I don't see them beating a B or A team. That's just how I look at it. I just don't see them beating a good team. So that's they're playing Tennessee. They'll beat that. Green Bay I have, Buffalo I have up there, Dallas. I'd have Cardinals above the Rams, and then New Orleans. So that's my little take on it. Eric became a ghost.
Oh no, I'm back.
All righty. So that's my take on that. And yeah, I'm gonna contact about that.
Yeah, I
see
went
if I have any
on
other-
line 2. It's still blurry for me.
Yeah, no, I see it. I see what you're saying. I got the same thing. Online is a much better feed than.
No, I just went to Facebook though, and I have the same thing. I think maybe.
No, my Facebook is clear, and my YouTube is very clear. So,
All right,
yes.
gentlemen, I need to
Yeah, I'm going to sign off too,
say
Todd.
adieu.
Well, Eric, hang on for a second. Eric,
Okay.
hang on one second.
Okay. All right.
John Michael, I am so glad you made it tonight. I love what you talk about. I hope you come back, and I hope you enjoyed yourself.
So are we doing every Wednesday?
You know what? It depends. Like next week is tough for me because I have to go do shows at. I'm going to Marshall University next week, and I'm not sure if I'm traveling. I got to see. So it's either going to be Wednesday or Thursday. I like doing Wednesdays because Thursdays runs into Thursday Night Football, and I'd rather get the game. You know,
Wednesday's better. It's still fresh.
I like Wednesday. Well, John, do you like Wednesday?
Okay. Yeah. So, well, Wednesday seems like today I was supposed to do a show, but it was the scenes were put. Basically, they didn't say, but I'm sure someone on set got COVID. But like next week, Thursday, I'm good, but Wednesday probably not.
Okay.
That's the 10th, right? Well, I'll let you know.
Yeah, if you can even come on for like 2 minutes, if I know you're coming on for 2 minutes, I could tailor a thing with maybe some injuries or injury talk for like 2 to 3 minutes, and you could give your thoughts on some things like that. That's enough. You know, you don't have to hang around a whole show. That's fine. All up to you.
No, it was fun. It was fun.
Well, you got
Eric. It was good banter. I like that.
Yeah, and
good talking to you, John Michael.
Yeah, you got some good knowledge. Eric's got Eric, I got to control Eric because he's like a bull in a rodeo. He's ready to talk about, like, he'll talk about ping pong if something happened. You know?
Oh yeah, no, that's I'm like that. And then also let you know if the next time I come on, I'll log on as Michael Murphy because I go by Mike. I just did John Michael Murphy because that's what my agent wants me to go by. So.
You ever heard of Michael Murphy?
You tell me what you want me to find you by, and that's what.
That's why.
There's a couple Michael. There's singer Michael Murphy, and the actor.
Yeah, Wildfire. So that's why there's no John Michael Murphys with the EY. So.
Yeah, I like.
Plus, supposedly it rolls better. You know, rolls better off the John Michael Murphy as opposed to Michael Murphy.
Well, we lost John Michael Vincent, so we need another one.
Right. Yeah, Jan Michael. Right.
Yeah.
Jan Michael.
All right, gentlemen. I appreciate it.
Good to see you, and hopefully we will see you next time. All righty.
Yeah. All right. Have a good night, everyone.
Thank you for joining. All right, so it's me and you. I just wanted to go through some games with you before you hop on because I know you
absolutely,
like
absolutely.
I want to get here's one: Cincinnati and the Jets. Oh, you know what? I keep playing the wrong thing. Sorry, oops. I keep playing. I
lost on that one.
Yeah, no, that was a big upset. But you know what? Casey had something to say.
Where was Remy tonight?
You know what? She sent a video, but it was late, so I couldn't get to it. And
it's nice having the female perspective.
Oh, they're great. I agree. Her and Casey are great.
I changed my bet because of what she said about Green Bay on national TV. I changed my bet and won.
Oh my God! Yeah, she. Let me see. Let me see if I got that. Wait, hang on.
Yeah,
that was unbelievable what she said. And,
and I totally just said she's right.
Yeah, here it is, right here. Wait, let me see if I can get this on there. Here, where? Let me get this off. I gotta get it, so I don't double.
How are you able to find it so quickly?
I got things.
When we first came on, I said that since 2020 and since drafting Jordan Love, Aaron Rodgers is 8-0 on prime time with a 26 touchdown to 1 interception ratio.
Well, here's the problem, Remy. Here's the problem is that Green Bay's got 2 receivers that are out.
I know.
That probably won't start. And I put in. I thought it was kind of cool that the backup for their main guy is is this
But-
guy.
But then also, listen, they're 6-0. He's 6-0 without Devontae Adams. So not having Devontae Adams might not be that big of a deal because he's still 6-0 in prime time without him when he was hurt before.
Yep, she was totally right on that. She was totally,
Yeah.
you know.
I wish I had a warning about the Jets. Else I would have won big last week.
Yeah, you know what? It's. Let me see if I got this
Well-
one because Casey really had something. Let me see if I could find that video. I really want to find it.
She's the one that was talking about defense that I thought she made a lot of good points.
I think
About
this
the
is it. Hang
tackling.
on. Here's one: Cincinnati and the Jets. I mean that's really like a no-brainer to me. And let me
Yeah,
see
I think
something
that's
here.
a big. I think it's a big test for Cincinnati in this regard, living up to the expectations, reading your press clippings. I do think they're going to win, but it'll say a lot about them if they don't.
So what maybe you know, like Joe Flacco, is he worth anything? No, so that was interesting because she didn't, I think she maybe went with the flow of Cincinnati would win, but she really wasn't. I don't think she was on board totally with Cincinnati winning.
And I was totally brainwashed. I thought that was the best bet of the week.
Oh my God, that was the slaughter game of the week.
The best bet of the week was in baseball, and I'm not going to talk about it.
Oh, but yeah.
So what games you want to talk about for this week?
Let me get to the games. There we go. So I don't know. It's probably going to be. See, that's clear.
Yeah.
Right?
Can I make one? Maybe you don't want to have a gambling element, but I think it'd be cool if we had the point spreads up there too.
Oh yeah, no, it would be great. It's a matter of me getting everything, all the elements together. That's all it is. It's just getting everything done. You know what I mean? Putting everything together takes so much time. You know.
Do it all yourself.
What was that? Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
You have to create the whole graphic. Yeah.
I'm doing some of it I picked, but I gotta edit a lot of stuff and grab a lot of stuff, and it's really
I don't think this week is very sexy at all. There's really not a lot of great matchups. I mean, there's some good teams that are playing each other. Like Green Bay, Kansas City should be a fantastic game, but that's Kansas City's not happening, and Cleveland and Cincinnati I think is a great game.
Yeah, you know what? Cincinnati turns into a good game because both teams are on the mediocre side, I think.
If Derrick Henry had not been injured, then I would be leaning towards Tennessee, especially with points. I mean, it's just a shame he got injured. So I think when they were drawing up the schedule, this looked real strong. But is it week 10 now?
Week 9.
This is week 9?
Yeah.
There's just not a lot of real exciting. I'm gonna really take it easy on the betting this week. I think Las Vegas is a real good bet, and
I don't know Las Vegas, but you had all those problems. The Raiders are a nut house. Who knows mentally? Are they going to be? Oh, we're going to play for our guy, or it's like, we don't even have our receiver now.
The old Raiders really left a mystique because of course this stuff happens with Gruden, and now this has to be the Raiders of any team in the league. You could have predicted it before this.
Right. Yeah. So that I don't think that would have been a great game, and I don't know. The Giants are so bad, but this could be one of those games where the Raiders are like just an emotional mess. And
well, yeah, that's true. I think the lock for me is the Ram game. It's 7.5 plus Tennessee, but I think they're going to destroy them.
Oh, you do?
Well, they're playing at home too. That's going to be my big. And I have laid off the Rams and the Chargers because they're my teams in LA, and they always disappoint me. But I'm going to take the Rams heavily on this week. And I hope you can play this. Hope you can play this next week and prove me right.
No, I agree with you because Tennessee did. They gave up a lot of points to the Colts, and I just think the Rams are a better team, and they Tennessee is have won the last 4 games, but without their guy, they got problems.
He's their guy. I mean, one of the reasons I like him so much is it just brings me back to the old days, like with a Leroy Kelly or an Emmett Smith, or
Right.
running backs were Barry Sanders. They just really were dominant.
Right.
And
that's a shame that he's out. That's a shame. So then what do you see? What's your big game? My slaughter game of the week is the Buffalo Jacksonville. That I don't know what the line is on that.
Oh, I think it's 14.5. It could be more.
Yeah, I think Buffalo could destroy them. And the Ravens, I think, will take the Vikings. The Chargers Philly is a toss-up. The Chargers, I'm not a fan of the Chargers. I'm really not.
I was getting to be really big fan, and I'm very disappointed in them. I don't like the new coach. I don't think they should have fired the old one. I think it was a little bit racial. And Herbert, I don't know what's going on with him, but I think they're going to have a rocky road the rest of the season.
I went with last week. I thought Detroit was going to win their first game, and they got destroyed. Detroit and Chicago are really 2 awful teams.
No. Well, I feel worse for Detroit because they're, Goff's okay. They've lost a lot of close ones. Chicago's just a train wreck.
Yeah. So, and Detroit's got to bye. Let's see, Arizona, San Francisco, Cardinals on that one. I wish I did have the odds up. So next week I'm going to work on that. The line, the line up there.
Yeah, I don't have my phone.
Oh, I got you. And then let's see, what else is there? Atlanta, New Orleans. New Orleans is a mess. That's a toss-up. That becomes a toss-up.
I see that. I think the Simeon Hill. I don't know Taysom Hill. He could be back, maybe not. But I think they have such a good defense. I think that's another lock for the Saints.
Oh yeah, so you go New Orleans on that?
Yeah, then, thinking about it more.
The Battle of the Bads. This is this week's Battle of the Bads. Houston at Miami. That's the Battle of the Bads. That's like
they shouldn't even be playing.
What was that?
They shouldn't even be playing that game. They're so bad.
That's so bad. Let's see if both teams won the first game of the season and lost the one.
Who said on the show that? What was the Houston Tech? Bill O'Brien. Do you think someone said that he destroyed him? I think it was just losing J.J. Watt, losing DeAndre Hopkins. Was that Bill O'Brien? I guess it was. He was player personnel too.
Oh, I don't even know.
They blew up that team,
Here's the scores that Houston lost by. Houston lost to the Panthers 24-9. To Buffalo, they lost 40-0. To the Colts, they lost 31-3. To the Cardinals, they lost 31-5. And then they gave up 38 points in a 38-22 versus the Rams. So Miami at least have scored points. I'm going to have to go with Miami at home.
But the fact that they scored, the Rams had them like 38-0, I believe, at the beginning of the fourth quarter. The fact that they got like 16 points in the fourth quarter, maybe they're improving.
Yeah, but maybe, let's say you're winning by that much. Maybe you're going to not want to get hurt. You're going to, what it's like garbage time in basketball when a team's up by 25 and they just.
Or what do they call it? They're going to rest. They're going to manage his time. What's the basketball saying?
Just garbage time, just garbage time. So, all righty. Well, thanks a lot. We're going to wrap it up. I really,
it was a good show.
So much for coming on and for pointing out everything that we needed to, technically also. Thank you for that.
It's just instinctual. I used to be a producer, and just want to make your show the best possible. I'm just wondering how we can get out the word, if we get it to everyone we know and tell them to send it to 10 people,
Yeah.
How can we get it?
Like I share the links and I got to start marketing. So I share the links and I just don't know I'm still working technical issues out.
I've actually been keeping a low digital footprint for quite a while, but I've been waiting to have some kind of thing that I would really want to market. And so I'm going to get really active in Instagram and Twitter and Facebook, and I will be trying to pump it out there in any way I can.
Yeah, and I send the link on the
Yeah.
last thing, and it's little by little. I wish this was week 3 because I would like to get some onset time and do there's a big plan for this. So but I'm figuring out the software. I got to get the software right.
Well, I can talk to you through email. We're recording this. I have when I do give you feedback, I hope you don't take it as criticism. It's just my opinion.
Not at all. To me, I'm a big collaborator. I've worked with people where you say something and before they even hear you, they're no. There are so many uncreative people in the world and uncollaborative. And
well, I left you an email about collaboration, so get back to me. Okay. I wrote it during the show.
Okay.
All right. Have a good week. Have fun. And Marshall, We Are Marshall. That's a great movie.
We Are Marshall. Yeah. And you know what? The closest airport's an hour away. So
a lot of history with that school.
Oh yeah. I don't know if
that's 69 or no, that was Wyoming. I was thinking about.
No, but they had
that
the
was
plane
a plane
crash.
Right. Yeah. All right, Todd. Have yourself a good week.
You got it, Eric. It's nice to see you.
All right.
Okay.
Good night.
So we are going to wrap it up. We had a fun show tonight. I'm going to leave you with my rankings. I want to see if I could get that back up. And here's my rankings. You could see that. And I'm going to get some more videos up while we do this to close out the show. Some people put videos up. I want to see if I could even get, here's my top stuff. And let's see if I could play some more videos. Yep, we had Rick's picks. I was going to pick the Bears, but he was very sharp with not picking the Bears, and I'll show you what Rick had to say, if this is the right one. Here it is. Here it comes, folks.
Going back to this Bears game, it would be impossible for anybody who's taking their hard-earned green dollars to back the Bears.
And like an idiot, I backed the Bears. So that was a bad move. Rick was right with his Rick's picks there. And let me see if I can get another one going. Let's see if we have another one going. We showed Remy. We pretty much showed everything. And I am sorry that I don't have Remy's thing because she sent me a video, and but that's how it goes. So thank you all for coming on tonight. I love the guests, all the sports gluttons, so knowledgeable, giving their opinions, and I hope everyone out there has a good betting week. Not that I'm a proponent of gambling, but if you're going to do it, I hope you win. If you're going to do it, you might as well win. Don't lose, right? What? You're going to do the sin, make it worthwhile. So God just got mad at me for that one. So thank you for coming. I am going to sign off, and I appreciate all the feedback. And why don't you guys come back on? And thank you I hope you see you next Wednesday.